a term I've been thinking about lately in my head is what I've dubbed Schrödinger's analytics. So you probably know of Schrödinger's cat. So it's a thought experiment where there's a cat in a box and you don't know whether the cat is dead or alive. So it is simultaneously dead and alive. So it's a like quantum physics experiment, thought experiment that is. And you can apply the same to analytics. So the question is, are the numbers high or are they low? Or generally, how are the numbers? Because, I mean, that's what analytics are about. So, I mean, I've been thinking about it in like YouTube context and websites, but you can think about it, you can translate that to any other domain. So, the point is knowledge influences you. And of course, I mean, that is the whole point of analytics, because you have analytics to optimize. Because you gain knowledge through them, and so you can optimize your website, your videos, your products, your whatever further to, well, increase the numbers even further. So yeah, that's what analytics are about. But in a creative context, I think you shouldn't be influenced by numbers or analytics. Or at least I don't want to be influenced by them. So, yeah, so I don't want it to influence me. So I've been not looking at analytics. I've been very ignorant towards analytics, so I've not looked at them. I've made a video about that in the past. It was titled "I'm done with analytics" because I realized that. And I've realized this in the past with like websites and whatnot. Like analytics and numbers and tracking and all that stuff is kind of bad for your creativity because, well, you kind of get into this flow of like, or in this thought process of optimization. And it also very much influences your like emotions. So if numbers are high, you feel good. If numbers are low, you don't feel good. And it's kind of pointless because it's kind of, yeah, what's the point of that? Because if you create something, like whatever it may be, like let it be a video, a text, an image, like whatever, you are not, or at least I don't think it's good to do that to gain recognition from other people, especially people you don't know. You should rather, or I try to rather do something because I want to do it. And kind of analytics stand very much in the way of that. Because again, it influences your behavior. So, for example, let's take this YouTube channel. If I do a video and I look at the analytics and I see, oh, this video is doing if I can speak, really, really well, I will of course produce more videos in that format, about that topic and whatnot. Even though I may not even really like that, or I may not be very happy with that video. And there's also kind of a naive optimization, because the reasons why the video did well, which I think are the reasons, might not be the actual reasons. It might just be that the YouTube algorithm, I don't know, had thought, well, this video should get pushed or whatnot. So, like, there is in all likelihood no base for my assumption about the reasons why a video did well or whatnot. And I mean, kind of YouTube, or generally any platform, tries to kind of counter this with providing even more detailed analytics. So, for example, how many people clicked off when and whatnot, like viewer retention at 30 seconds or whatnot, and all this kind of stuff. But it's kind of, like, what's the point of that? The point of that is, of course, to gain more viewers, gain more views, gain more attention, and in most cases nowadays, of course, translate that into money. So that's what really most people are about. In general nowadays. So be that through affiliate links or through like courses or whatnot, or I don't know, ebooks and like stuff like that. And for that, analytics is great. They are not only great, they are necessary, of course. But again, like in a creative context, like in a let me say purely creative context, where it's about creating and not about earning money with creativity, I think analytics are really kind of helpful. And since I made that video, this one, since then I've of course again fallen like into the trap of looking at analytics. So I haven't avoided them completely, but again, it's kind of when you realize something's not good for you, you tend to again fall into the trap of doing it, like at some point if you've done it before. But then if you then become aware again because you wanted to stop doing that, you kind of go further that path of actually stopping with doing that, like actually not feeling the need to do that. And that it's the same way with me in analytics. So I don't really like, it's not like I feel like excited to look at analytics because I know that it's, first of all, pointless, that it's just an illusion in a sort of sense, that it doesn't bring me any further, like in any sense really, or in any sense that has meaning to me, and that it hinders my ability to do what I want because it influences me. I mean, there's no, like, you can of course argue, well, the influence, I mean, you can become aware of that and kind of counter that and all that stuff, but I mean, the influence is there, like, in either case. Like, it doesn't really matter what you do, like, consciously, because it's like, you can't really argue with numbers. Like, whenever you quantify something into numbers, like, higher numbers are generally, or lower numbers, or there is a better, let me just say that. So there is an ordering of numbers, like 3 is always greater than 2. Like, there's no arguing about that. And if you look at this, even look at this graph here, like, higher spikes are better than, like, no spikes, or I mean, higher points are better than lower points. I mean, it's visually clear, and it's also like intellectually clear, but it's kind of an illusion, because again, if you're not trying to earn money, if you're not trying to optimize for views or whatnot, it doesn't matter. It doesn't say anything about the quality or the content or anything about the stuff you've created. Yeah, so I hope I kind of got my point across. And again, at this point, I actually don't look at them anymore, because I'm just kind of, I don't know, like, why would I? And I, of course, I mean, I read the comments and whatnot, and I've seen, like, one of my videos got a lot of attention and whatnot. But again, like, why should I look at the actual numbers for that? Like, what does that bring me? Like, nothing. If I'm not trying to earn money or to get a lot of subscribers or viewers or whatnot. So yeah, there really is no point to it, and it's just like an emotional manipulation, in some sense. So yeah, I hope it's clear what I mean, and I hope you kind of catch my drift, and maybe even like translate that to your own life. So there are probably like situations where you have like or where you are tracking something, and it also kind of, through the act of like looking at the data, you kind of get influenced, like, subtly to do or not do certain things. And I mean, it's even you can apply this to pretty much everything in the modern world, because like everything is quantified nowadays. I mean, even something like nutrition. So, for example, if you are like into like weightlifting and stuff like that, you might not, like, you might stop eating the foods you actually like to optimize your nutrition to get closer to your goal of whatever. And I mean, it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of bad, I think. Not in like a moral sense, of course, but like for oneself. I mean, why does that matter? And I mean, the reason why most people think it matters, or why it matters to most people, is because they are like externally referenced, you could say. So they care about what other people think. So, for example, if I cared about how many, like, what other people thought of my channel or whatnot, I would of course care about analytics, because I would want to have more subscribers and more views and whatnot. And the same it is with like lifting weights and nutrition, and stuff like that. And all that is not to say that one shouldn't like produce, or no, not produce, but rather create something, be that videos or through weightlifting or whatnot. But it's rather that this obsessive progress tracking, I think, stands in the way of real progress. Because I mean, most people who think about like optimization in like whatever it is, in whatever field, never actually get started. So again, weightlifting is a good example, but also like programming or like computer stuff in general. Like the people who ask, how do I get started with learning Linux? I would argue never actually do. or what's the, well, I should rather say, what's the optimal way to start learning Linux? It's like, I mean, just do it. Like, and I think if you have to ask something like that, the reason is because you don't actually feel like doing it. At least in my experience, also in my personal experience. All right. So that's a few of my thoughts about analytics. And again, I want to kind of take it back to the title of the video and to the like mental concept I have, because the term Schrödinger's analytics, or the thought experiment about Schrödinger's cat, I think is a powerful thing in this regard, because you're kind of delaying. I mean, you could think about like looking at analytics as gratification, as like a reward. You have created something, a video, for example, and now you now there's a reaction to it by people. People are viewing your stuff. People are commenting and liking and whatnot, and this is the kind of reward you get. Of course, it kind of shouldn't be this way. You should create stuff because you want to create something. But I mean, it's a consequence either way. I mean, you are happy if people view your stuff and like your stuff. I mean, that's just like human, and I am as well, of course. And by like not looking at analytics, and by like having this kind of box where you are not certain whether whether the numbers are high or low, you are kind of delaying that. Because if numbers are low, it's kind of you are low. Like, you kind of think, well, why am I doing this? Well, this is stupid. Well, no one likes my stuff, and all this kind of stuff, which you think in the modern context. But if you kind of put it in a box, you don't know if that's the case. It could also be that people really like your stuff. So I found by doing exactly that, I am more motivated to do stuff because I'm not demotivated by missing numbers, which is, again, it's a stupid concept anyways. All right, yeah. So I think that's all I wanted to say. So it's about like avoiding emotional influence, if that makes sense, because numbers always emotionally influence you, if you like it or not. I think, at least in like a context like this, because they are so clear and you are confronted with numbers everywhere nowadays. And yeah, all right. So I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else to say. Again, I hope you got my point. Let me know what you think, if you have some thoughts about this topic, or if you have some experience with like tracking something and like looking at numbers, and if you've ever like realized how it influences you. All right, yeah, that's it. Have a nice day.